and gents, Nesabugalo EKSE live here on DSTV channel 263. If you just tuned in now, I don't know where you were because we first part here, we spoke about something that's very important with coping. How do we cope with trauma? And a question here to your social media, it is a Monday motivation. So go to social media platforms because the question here is what motivates you to actually get out of bed? I don't know what motivates you. It can be a lies because but right now we do go hop on to a movie screening that we did Mlungu, and we did have an interview with Utumisa. Ladies and gents, let's check it out.
The anticipated horror film Mlungu has finally hit South African screens after running in Toronto International Film, and it will be running here in Cape Town from the 20th to the 5th of November. It's all about Utsidi, who is a single mom who's forced to move in with her estranged mother, who is a domestic worker and living with Umete Mwake. You can already tell just by that simple line that there's so many intricacies in the relationship, but we're going to find out a little more about the film. Right now, though, let me stop talking and let's head inside to find out what's happening and everything that has to do with Mlungu. Let's go. Question number one, I want to know, are you a horror movie fan or this is a special occasion?
I'm not a horror movie fan. Actually, I watch maybe one horror movie a year.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the season, it's Halloween month, it's Spooktober, so we're getting into it.
I love that. Listen, I'm literally just like you. I don't watch horror movies at all, but I'm very excited for this movie. What I want to find out is how did you find out about it, and how, as a regular South African, can we make sure that people are not just shooting films, but are also seen on a wider scale?
Yeah, so my family friend is in the movie. Yeah, she plays Mlungu.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm coming to support her with the family and everything. In terms of how we can make South African movies more popular, I suppose more marketing and yeah, bigger budgets for everyone.
More marketing and bigger budget is the advice from Jared today about how we can make South African films more popular and more streamed. Right now, asibuyele ephathini. What do you think South African films can do better to make sure that something like this is supported not just on a small scale, but on a bigger scale? Because as you know, in America, when a movie opens, it's a movie opening, there's millions of views. How can we as South Africans support our African films?
It's a very good question. It's all about selling the movie. How do you do that? By taking it to the people. How do you do that? By marketing it. If you can spend 5 million on a movie, surely you should have at least a certain percentage of that which goes to marketing. We have, I'll make an example. We have a public broadcaster that has so much viewers, of which I think if our government through DTI and National Film and Video Commission and other places can invest in making of the movie, surely they can ask the SABC to market the movie so that when the movie comes out, everybody knows about it.
And I wanted to find out, speaking of the mixture of the emotions right now, what does it take to prepare for such an important role? Because there's so many nuances in the story and it's so important to the South African person. What goes into preparing for such a role?
It was weeks and weeks and weeks of rehearsals with Jenna, delving deeper into the psyche of the characters. Yeah. It was my life, like what I've seen growing up, seen in my community. Yeah. It's life, like observing life and everything around me.
And then what do you hope viewers take away from this movie? Is it like, do you want people just to be entertained, be like, oh, that was a really good movie? Or do you hope that there's a background story that they take away from the actual film?
I hope that it makes people think and see ubana what you see surface level is not it. Like there's things there. Just because you see umntu enjena, like now you must realize ubana there's a reason behind that. There's a reason why everyone is the way that they are. Like your environment influences you, your upbringing influences you, and all of that. Yeah.
Everything influences you, and hopefully we are influenced by the film as well. And joining us right now is the director and co-producer of Mlungu, Miss Jenna Bass in the building. What I want to find out is first of all, how are you feeling about this film today?
Pretty nervous. I mean, it's been like organizing your birthday party for like 2 years, and then like on the day, like anything could go wrong. Are people going to enjoy themselves? You want everyone to have a good time. So it's a lot of anxiety, but I'm also really happy we made it here. So yeah.
I'm also really happy you made it here as well. I wanted to find out, why is this film so important to highlight ordinary struggles and ordinary horrors that ordinary South Africans are facing?
So I watch a lot of horror films and I really enjoy them, and a lot of the horrors that we watch are about things that don't happen. You know, like they're about ghosts and monsters, like a serial killer or two, which does happen but not that often. And I think what's so cool about the horror genre is that it like allows us to look deeper into the things that are dark about our society and lets us look at them in a new way. And I think the conversations that we have, you know, Mlungu not about anything new. It's a conversation we've had so many times about inequality and why things have not changed, why can't they change faster, and what's wrong with our society. But it does it in a totally different way, which I think like gets us to think differently about that, hopefully, and remind us also that just because this goes on and on and on doesn't mean it's not horrific, and that it actually is something that we should be caring about rather than just getting used to.
Absolutely, and I have to agree with the point that you're making. But what I want to find out is, I know some people at home are asking, why did it start in Toronto and why didn't it start at home? So talk to me about it starting in Toronto International Film Festival and then coming to South Africa.
So it's a small independent film, which means that it's not commissioned by a broadcaster like a Showmax or an Mnet, and that means that we need to work really, really hard to get a profile for the film and get people to know about it and get people excited about it. And for films like us, that journey often starts overseas where the big film festivals are. It's not that they're necessarily better or we care more about those audiences. It's just part of the journey of the film that means we can get sales and distribution and then kind of build up that hype to when we do come back here. And then everyone's really excited. But in a perfect world, we would be able to choose, you know, maybe we want to premiere it here and really, you know, we'd be able to do that from the ground up on this side. So maybe that's for the next film also.
All right, Jenna, thank you so much for your incredible work, and I can't wait to see Mlungu. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all that happened right here at the premiere of Mlungu that is taking place from the 20th of October all the way to the 5th of November. I've had so much fun. Thank you so much to everyone who agreed to step in front of the camera and chat to me today. Right now, though, the Princess of Presenting is signing out. Oh, man, listen, when I say that, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And I really, really genuinely enjoyed the movie. I thought it was so fun. It was so creative as well. And I remember speaking to Kumis, and she was like, you know what, the South African audience will get it more. And you'll get the nuances of the different film, of the different characters, the jokes, etc. And I really did get everything. So you guys did an amazing job.